Exploring the heart of care. Caregiving, education, inspiration, and support for caregivers. Exploring the heart of care.
You are listening to the Carecast, where we are exploring the heart of care. My name is Jeremy Watkins, and I will be your host. Well, we are on quite a journey in Season 2 of the Carecast. We are exploring the psychology of caregiving. And today's episode is pretty intriguing to me. It's difficult to understand psychology without bringing in some neuroscience, some biology. And that's what we're going to be touching base on today. We're going to be talking about the neuroscience of stress and what chronic caregiving does to your brain and your body. We're going to look under the hood at your stress response system, how it's supposed to work, why chronic caregiving keeps it on high alert, and what simple, evidence-based techniques you can use right now to interrupt that harmful biological loop. Understanding the science is the key to protecting your long-term health. When you feel chronic caregiving stress, you are engaging in fundamental survival system in your brain and body, and it's known as the HPA Axis. That's the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. Think of the HPA axis as your body's alarm system. When your brain perceives a threat, like a loud noise, a sudden crisis, or the chronic uncertainty of a loved one's illness, the hypothalamus signals the pituitary, which signals the adrenals. The adrenal glands then flood your body with stress hormones, primarily cortisol and adrenaline. In a healthy person, cortisol is a lifesaver. It gives you the energy to react, boosts your focus, and even dulls pain. After the danger passes, for example, you swerve to avoid an accident, the system shuts off and cortisol levels drop and your body returns to its baseline. For the chronic caregiver, the alarm system never shuts off. The threat is constant. The financial worries, the interrupted sleep, the emotional crisis, the constant demands. Your body is perpetually in fight or flight mode. This chronic elevation of cortisol and adrenaline leads to the very symptoms caregivers know all too well. Sleep disruption, weight gain, especially around the abdominal area, a weakened immune system, constant tension, and even brain fog. Your physical health is literally paying the biological cost of your emotional labor. But the story doesn't end with cortisol. To truly regulate your stress, we need to talk about the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the longest nerve in your body, running from your brainstem all the way down to your colon. It's the highway connecting your brain and your major organs, and it is the primary component of your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system. When you are stressed, your sympathetic system, fight or flight, is in charge. The vagus nerve's job is to apply the brakes, calming your heart rate, slowing your breathing, and telling your brain that the danger has passed. The beautiful thing about the vagus nerve is that we can consciously influence it. The stronger your vagal tone, which is the activity of the vagus nerve, the faster your body can recover from stress. Caregiving stress essentially weakens your vagal tone, making it harder to calm down. The key to interrupting the chronic cortisol loop is to engage the vagus nerve and switch the body out of alarm mode. And we don't need expensive gadgets or complex retreats to reset the system. We can use simple, intentional actions that send direct biological signals to the vagus nerve to activate the rest and digest state. Here's a few examples of evidence-based practices to interrupt the stress response. Slowing your exhale, the 4-7-8 technique. The single most powerful way to activate the vagus nerve is through breath work, specifically by lengthening your exhale. Try this. Inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 7, and exhale slowly for a count of 8. Doing this sequence just 3 times a day, maybe before you check your phone in the morning, right before a difficult task, before going to bed, it sends an immediate, non-negotiable signal of safety to your brain. The second one is cold exposure. Even small, controlled exposure to cold water can shock your vagus nerve into action. Try ending your shower with 30 seconds of cold water directed at your face and neck. It feels awful for a moment, but the strong stimulation helps tone the nerve, improving your body's ability to cope with stress later on. And the third is humming or singing. The vagus nerve passes through the vocal cords. Humming, singing, or even gargling vibrates the nerve, increasing vagal tone. When you are doing mundane tasks, washing dishes, driving, folding laundry, hum or sing. It's simple, enjoyable, and it biologically resets. The psychological burden of caregiving is real, and it has a measurable biological cost in the form of elevated cortisol and a compromised vagus nerve, but you are not powerless. By understanding the HPA Axis and your rest and digest system, you have the power to consciously influence your own recovery. These small daily acts, the breath, the cold splash, the hum, are not just self-care. They are essential biological medicine for the caregiver. Next week, we will return to relationship dynamics by exploring the power of validation. We'll discuss the therapeutic communication techniques that can de-escalate emotional conflicts and transform challenging interactions into moments of deep connection. Thank you for exploring the heart of care with me today. Until next time, take a deep breath, slow breath, and be the calm, restorative force for your own body and mind.
Cast, exploring the heart of care. Cast, education, inspiration, and support for care.